Accounting fraud and audit profession. As for accounting fraud, I think it's a very large topic. So this is short presentation. I'll touch just the main points. So some history and what accounting firms do. It's not simply bookkeeping and accounting, just recording numbers. Accounting firms provide like different services. It's accounting, audit, advisory, taxation, mergers and acquisitions. Yeah, it's nowadays it's not simply accounting. Yeah. So some history about the accounting firms. There are like there used to be 8 like largest accounting firms, which are with time through mergers and combinations, they became Big Five in like Big Six and Big Five, and like after a large Enron scandal, you probably heard of it, in 2001. Nowadays, it's only Big Four companies. It's PricewaterhouseCoopers, KPMG, this is where I worked, Deloitte, and EY. And there are, of course, many like medium and small size companies, like BDO, MNP. One slide back, please. And Grant Thornton and others. Like, for you just to understand the size of the Big Four, they account for 75% of the global accounting market, and like out of 500 S&P 500 companies, they offer service to 495 of them. So you can imagine that. Yeah, and one important thing that to understand that there's division between responsibility of auditors and management. Auditors provide reasonable assurance. It's very high, but it's not absolute, because auditors do sample testing. They cannot audit everything 100% because it's not efficient in terms of like it will be very costly, it will be very time consuming, and they always put materiality threshold, like above certain amount. If it's lower than this, they will consider it as insignificant amount, which will not impact the decision of investors. And auditors are responsible for expressing an opinion. Like they say, these financial statements are free from fraud or error, like in all material respects. Yeah, and management's responsibility is mainly for everything what they prepare and give, like all the financial information and statements they provide to auditors for review, and for the internal control system that exists in the company. Yes, and the next slide, please. So as for the scandal, the Enron is quite famous one in 2001, when they were having like fake holdings and some special purpose entities where legally they were separate, but it was actually Enron who was using this money, but the debts were not showed on the statements of Enron. And yeah, the price then dropped from $90 to less than $1, and shareholders lost $74 billion. There are other examples like WorldCom, Sunbeam, Waste Management, and others. And the auditor of Enron was Arthur Andersen, and they collapsed after this case. As a response to this, there was a Sarbanes-Oxley Act that was passed in 2002. It made some stricter requirements. There were new criminal penalties for the violations, and they introduced more requirements to the internal control system. So the interesting fact is that at the beginning, like 80% of the board members, they were against this. Like they were saying it's complex, it's very costly. But 5 years later, it like completely it changed. and now 70% of people were in favor. Nevertheless, new scandals happen, and in 2019 we have a, oops, 5 minutes out. Okay, I'm gonna finish quickly. Wirecard, it was a fintech giant in Germany, and they were like analysts were asking questions about the financial statements, about accounts, because some of them were really not like okay, but still there were people who were in favor, saying that it's doing well, it's showing profits, but in the end it also was it turned out to be a big fraudulent scandal. And yeah, the solutions and the issues that are related to this is there is now a conflict of interest between audit and audit services. Like, for example, KPMG may be providing audit services and at the same time advisory services. And the revenue stream from advisory service may be equal or even larger than audit service, which makes puts this company in a really not good position. Okay, yeah. So one of the solutions is to increase pressure on regulators and like make some changes in internal control systems as well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.